Welcome back to Soulful Strategies with Kathleen Amy, the podcast where we blend intuition with strategy and the actual practical approaches to empower your business journey. I'm your host, Kathleen, and in today's episode, we're going to explore the key role that intuition has in business decision making. As we navigate these introspective, quieter winter months, tuning back into our own inner guidance can be a game changer for making informed and aligned business choices. When I speak to developing your intuition in business, I'm not talking about making random guesses and throwing everything up in the air and picking what you think feels good. It's actually about cultivating a real deep connection with your inner wisdom and the subtle cues from your business and your business environment. Developing this skill involves creating space for silence and reflection and allowing your subconscious insights to surface. If we don't have that rest, that quiet time, that space, then we are not allowing our brains the chance to create and envision. And this in turn not only stifles our creativity, but our intuition and our connection to ourself and our business. Our intuition, our gut, our inner guide, however you like to describe it or wherever it feels present for you, can be really tricky to connect to if we have been disconnected or overriding it for a long time. I like to begin by regularly setting aside time to check in with myself, completely free from external distractions. This could be through meditation, it could be journaling, or it could just simply be sitting quietly, whatever feels good for you. The goal is to become attuned to your inner voice and recognize the feelings or hunches that arise when you're contemplating your business decisions. It really is a practice in listening to your intuition on small decisions to build confidence in your ability to discern these inner signals and really tune in to whether you're acting and making a decision out of fear or shame or another kind of feeling, or if it's actually your intuition kind of nudging you along. Over time in doing this, I really began to enhance my sensitivity to these insights, and it made it easier to trust my own intuition when faced with larger business choices and noticing whether it was a feeling that I was acting from. Was I just a little bit scared to do the thing? Or was my intuition actually telling me that this probably was not a good choice for me? One other thing that has been very supportive for me is diving into my human design chart or gene keys, which you may like to look at, to explore how your intuition will present itself to you and your body. I won't dive deep into the details of how these tools work, but I invite you to consider exploring them if you feel called to. I'd love to invite you along with a little contemplation or some questions to prompt your thinking around intuition in business. And to kind of set the scene, I like to describe intuition as this subtle art of knowing without reasoning. It's that inner whisper, that gut feeling that guides you towards the decisions that might not be immediately obvious through rational thought alone. And harnessing this can give you a really unique and competitive edge and a deeper understanding of your own business landscape. Before you begin using intuition in your business decisions, take a moment to reflect on its nature and how it interacts with your business practices. You might like to grab a journal and a pen and pause this podcast and write alongside me as I'm speaking, pausing after each question or in whatever way feels good for you. Let's dive in. The first question I like to ask is, what does intuition actually feel like for you? And you can reflect on this by recalling a past decision where you followed your intuition. What sensations, emotions, or thoughts accompanied this decision? Identifying these and how your intuition communicates with you and how it doesn't communicate with you can help you recognize it more clearly in the future. The second question is, when have you last ignored your intuition in a business context, and what was the outcome? Reflecting on times when you chose to ignore your intuition can be just as enlightening as remembering when and why you followed it. The third question is, what fears or beliefs might be blocking your intuition? Sometimes fear of making a mistake or a deep-seated belief that only data-driven decisions are valid can block your intuitive insights. Are there any beliefs that might be hindering your intuitive abilities? The fourth question is, how can you create a conducive environment for your intuition to flourish? We know that intuition often requires space and quiet to surface. So what changes can you make in your daily routine or work environment to foster these conditions? The fifth question is, what small step can you take today to strengthen your intuitive decision making? Intuition, like any skill that we develop, gets stronger with practice. Think of a small, low-risk decision you can make today based solely on your intuition. What will you choose? The sixth question is, in what areas of your business could you benefit from more intuition? Are there current challenges or opportunities in your business where your intuitive insights could be particularly valuable? And how might you apply your intuition to these areas? And last question is, who in your professional circle embodies intuitive decision making? Sometimes observing others who successfully use their intuition or are doing the thing that we want to do or be can provide a model to emulate or look towards. It's not about copying them and using their exact strategy. It's looking at what traits they exhibit and how do they integrate intuition with rational analysis and seeing how that might work for you too. By reflecting on these questions and then integrating the insights they reveal, you can begin to more effectively tune into and utilize your business intuition by making decisions that are not only smart and strategic, but also deeply aligned with your values and your vision for the future. Now, I'd love to hear your own experiences. Have you ever made a business decision based on intuition, and how did it turn out? For me, starting this business back in 2018 was a big call of intuition. I was heavily pregnant with my second child, planning a home birth, and one of my friends needed some support in her business, and it just felt like a big yes. This then led to following other little breadcrumbs of yes along the way, the small steps that lead to the big vision, as I always say, and then expanding to other businesses until, well, here we are. I'm recording my own podcast almost 6 years into business. Another call of intuition I followed was actually pausing my business for new clients in 2022 after the birth of my third baby. This time and space allowed me to not only spend more time with my youngest baby postpartum and nurture myself and them postpartum, but also completely rebirth my business at the beginning of 2023, resulting in a complete overhaul of my business and creating a business that, although in the same occupation of virtual assistants and social media, is better suited to the current version of me as I speak now. My systems were upgraded, my strategies were upgraded, my boundaries were upgraded, my vision became more expansive, and this is all a result of following my intuition and blending in the strategy and the small steps to get there to support it all. I am certain that there are times in your life, and using these questions as a prompt for your reflection, where you can think about where you have followed your intuition and have created something really magical out of it. So as we move through the reflective winter months, I want you to remember that your intuition can be a really powerful ally in the realm of business. Developing and trusting your inner guide can lead to more authentic and effective decision making. So I invite you to embrace your business intuition as an essential part of this strategic toolkit and as part of your soulful strategies. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Soulful Strategies. Join me next time for more insights into blending intuition with strategy for a thriving entrepreneurial journey. Until then, trust that inner guide and let your business grow. I'll catch you next week.